Some people do not ask directly for reassurance. They create a test, pulling away to see if the partner follows, acting cold to see if the partner notices, or bringing up jealousy to measure devotion. Partner testing is an indirect attempt to measure love, loyalty, or availability without asking for reassurance openly. Instead of saying, "I feel insecure," the person creates a situation where the partner has to prove they care. One person may stop replying to see whether their partner follows up. Another may mention an ex to provoke jealousy. The stated issue may look small, but the hidden question is bigger. Will you still choose me when I feel unsure? Fear of direct vulnerability matters because it changes what looks reasonable in this specific setting. In why people test their partner, the person may feel they are reacting freely, while fear of direct vulnerability and indirect reassurance seeking have already narrowed the path. The mistake is calling every test pure manipulation. Some tests are manipulative, but many begin as fear wearing armor. The person wants reassurance but does not feel safe asking directly, so the need comes out sideways. Not replying to see if a partner follows up is a common version. If the partner reaches out, the anxious person feels wanted for a moment. If the partner does not, the fear feels confirmed. Either result can keep the testing cycle alive. Tests create unreliable evidence. A partner may pass because they are caring, or because they feel pressured, guilty, or afraid of conflict. That makes the result less useful than the tester hopes. Small issues become stubborn when they are allowed to collect consequences. Time can turn a warning sign into a bill, a dispute, or a broken repair attempt. Jealousy tests can be especially damaging. Mentioning an ex, exaggerating attention from someone else, or creating competition may produce reassurance, but it also introduces insecurity into the relationship on purpose. Creating a small crisis to test availability can make the partner feel trapped. If they respond quickly, the anxious person gets relief. If they do not, the fear feels proven. The problem is that the test creates pressure instead of creating honest closeness. Attachment anxiety often hides in the details of partner testing. In why people test their partner, it may sit inside attachment anxiety, so the warning sign is easy to miss until the consequence is already moving. Direct vulnerability is the healthier risk. Saying, "I feel insecure and I need reassurance," may feel exposed, but it gives the partner a fair chance to respond to the real need instead of reacting to the test. Trust damaged by tests deserves attention near the end of the chain. In why people test their partner, it can decide whether the outcome becomes manageable or turns into the more difficult version of the problem. The feeling does not decide the truth, but ignoring the feeling can make the next step unrealistic. Good judgment improves when the visible result is connected to the hidden condition that produced it. Testing is especially common when someone has learned that direct needs are punished, ignored, or mocked. The test becomes a protective habit from an older emotional environment, even if it now damages a safer relationship. This is where learning the concept pays off. It helps someone act before the costly version of the problem appears. Tests often escalate because the first test does not give lasting peace. The partner may pass today, but the fear asks for another proof tomorrow. This turns love into a series of exams that nobody can finish. To use the idea, translate the test into a request. The question underneath may be about love, attention, loyalty, safety, or fear of being replaced. Naming that question is cleaner than staging a trap. A person who understands the mechanism is less likely to be surprised by the result. The tested partner may begin acting less naturally. They may overthink every delay, every word, and every independent plan. The relationship then loses the relaxed feeling that the anxious person was hoping to confirm. For partner testing, the strongest protection is preparation before pressure rises. Handling partner testing early can prevent the messier version later, especially when creating a small crisis to test availability is already becoming possible. Testing can look different depending on the person. Some test by withdrawing. Others test by provoking jealousy, exaggerating independence, creating urgency, or asking questions they already know the answer to. The common feature is indirectness. One useful repair sentence is, "I was trying to see if you cared, but I asked in a confusing way." That sentence turns the test into a conversation and gives the partner a chance to respond to the real need. In Why People Test Their Partner, this extra check matters because not replying to see if the partner cares can look simple until fear of direct vulnerability and indirect reassurance seeking are both included. A small amount of clarity at the right moment can prevent a large amount of repair later. The antidote is not to shame the fear. The antidote is to make the need speak clearly. A relationship becomes safer when reassurance is requested directly instead of extracted through traps. Direct requests are uncomfortable because they reveal the need, but they also give the partner a fair chance. A test hides the real question. A request lets both people respond to the real emotion. A partner can respond with warmth and boundaries together. "I care about you, but I do not want us to test each other this way." That kind of response protects both compassion and honesty. Testing often comes from fear of asking directly. A person may want reassurance but feel embarrassed, needy, or unsafe saying, "I need to know you care." So the need comes out sideways through distance, jealousy, silence, or small traps. The problem is that tests create confusing data. If the partner passes, the relief may last only briefly. If the partner fails, the fearful person feels confirmed. Either way, the relationship becomes a courtroom instead of a conversation. Testing can also train the wrong behavior. A partner may learn to chase, over-explain, or constantly prove loyalty. That may calm the immediate fear, but it does not build secure trust. It builds a cycle where anxiety controls the rules. Testing feels safer than asking because it hides the vulnerable need. If the partner responds well, the tester gets reassurance without admitting fear. If the partner responds badly, the tester feels justified in staying guarded. A partner who is being tested may feel confused because the stated issue is not the real issue. The fight may appear to be about a text, a social plan, or a casual comment, while the hidden question is, "Will you still choose me when I am scared?" Naming that question directly changes the conversation. The healthier move is to translate the test into a request. Instead of disappearing to see if someone follows, say, "I felt insecure today and I need a little reassurance." Directness feels risky, but it gives trust a chance to grow on honest ground. The problem is that tests often punish the very person whose safety is being checked. A partner who is constantly tested may become anxious, resentful, or less spontaneous, which then seems to confirm the original fear.